The Urodactylodes, otherwise known as the chameleon gecko. Absolutely incredible gecko spanning the length of a little boy. What an amazing creature. Before you embark on your journey of owning the chameleon gecko, there are definitely some things you need to know, which is exactly why we made this What You Need to Know list. Stick around while we talk about some amazing facts about the chameleon gecko and some things that you need to know. Let's get into it. I hurt my foot and now I need to use a cane. Off with number 1 on this list, we are going to go with something that is, well, pretty obvious, and that's going to be this right here. Number 1, how handleable this micro gecko is. Generally, when we talk about micro geckos, we know 2 things about them. Number 1, they are quick, and number 2, they are small. Micro means small. It's slang for small, you know, if you didn't know. Unlike most cases with the other micro geckos I work with, these are actually pleasant because they do stuff like this. Nicknamed the finger hunger by finger hugger, not hunger. They don't eat fingers. That's tokay geckos, different video. These guys are slow, relaxed, and just kind of chill on you. As you guys know over here, we work with quite a few different ones. We got the Clemeri, we got the Lineatus, we've got... I guess we don't. Morning geckos. By God, I'm always scared opening that door because they are lightning fast. I'm afraid they're gonna shoot out and then cause me another 30 minutes of rummaging through this room trying to find them. However, that is not the case with the Urodactylodes. This is a species that is calm, cool, collected, and, best of all, small. For that is, this is the whole reason why I work with and breed chameleon geckos now. I was at an expo with my good buddy Richie, and he had these cool looking geckos on them. I really enjoyed the look of them. I think they're just cool little things. Never heard of them before. And he goes, "Here, watch this." And then he does this. And by God, I was sold. I bought the pair that exact day, just paid off my $2,000 debt loan with him just to get back in debt with him for this little dude. Absolutely amazing. I love these little guys. It's probably the biggest reason why I love them is the size of them and the fact that they are so calm, cool, and collected. Now, this is going to be a female, so this is the larger of the 2 genders, at least in my opinion. The male seems to be a little bit smaller than the girl, but she just comes here. You can just let her run around chill. She's not gonna jump because, by God, you know, unlike tokay geckos that plop 3 feet, that's like 5,000 feet to them. So there's no way. They're just gonna chill on your shoulder, lick your earlobe, and call it a day. Wait, where'd it go? Guys? Guys? Oh, here it is. It moved to this shoulder. Okay, no, we're good, we're good. Let's get into the second topic at hand, which is one that I actually found very interesting. I did not know about until fairly recently, and that is going to be number 2. This is actually a New Caledonian species of gecko. If you guys are new to the gecko world or the reptile world, maybe you don't know what New Cal is or New Caledonian. New Caledonian is a place. It is an island, I believe. When you say New Caledonia, you think of 4 main geckos. That's going to be the crested, the gargoyle, the chahua, and then lastly, everybody's dream gecko, the giant boy, the Leachianus. But if you guys did not know where the largest gecko in the world comes this small boy, the chameleon gecko. You guys come from New Caledonian, which means in most cases you treat them like a New Caledonia. They eat the same food, their care is relatively the same, and it's just like, this is pretty much a crested gecko, just in a cooler and smaller package. Here we keep our chameleon geckos generally the same as we do the cresteds, gargs, and all those other dudes. That's going to be mild temperatures, humidity in the 60 to 80% range. We give them the rapashi diet, the crested gecko food diet, and then feed them crickets once to twice a week as well. You get a real beefy gal like this. Look at that tail. Yuri standards, it's big, but comparatively speaking, that thing is small. You are a small little dude. Did you know that? Alrighty, small boy, calm boy, comes from New Cal, right? We know a little bit about the chameleon gecko now. However, this next one is going to be more of a looks can actually be deceiving. You see this small guy and you think, well, you can put in a small enclosure. However, I won't necessarily think that's the right thing, and that's going to be number 3. They're actually a pretty active gecko. You look at an animal this small, I mean, this one's actually pretty large. The male is a little bit smaller. You're gonna think, I can throw this thing in a small enclosure and it'll be absolutely fine. And that's what we did. We actually utilized the 8x12 enclosures that we usually use for grow out babies that we hatch out over here. However, I have found that I don't think the 8x12 is enough. I think that's too small of a space for it. And the reason why we actually haven't paired these guys is because I'm working on a 12x18 for them. I think especially if you're running a pair or if you get something something like a large female like this guy right here, well, this girl right here, I don't think an 8x12 is sufficient. I think they do like to move around quite a bit, and I just don't think that's enough space for them. I think a 12x18 would be absolutely fantastic. It's only a slightly bigger enclosure. You can still put it on your desktop if you want to do that. I don't know why people get small geckos. I do it because I like this right here. This is why I bought them. The fact of the matter is, I think they would enjoy a little bit of space. Once you get a nice established adult like this girl right here, I would recommend a 12x18 as a final enclosure and not anything smaller than that. For me, I find with shade-dwelling species like this, it's a little bit difficult for temperature regulation, UVB percentages, everything like that. When you're working with a shade-dwelling species inside of an 8x12, it's just too small of a spot. You have to be very particular with your UVB because you don't want it too much. They don't really have much room to get down and away from it. The temperature regulation, you don't want it to get too hot with them, but their enclosure is only 12 inches, so it's going to be hard to regulate that. At the end of the day, it's going to feel like a mansion for them. They're going to absolutely love it. Your parameters are going to be easier to set because you have more room to work with those regulations and figuring that out. All in all, I recommend a bigger size for this than what you would think. You already thought the 12x18. Maybe I was just being dumb back then and thought 12x12 is good, but really I was just being mean to you guys for 1 year. I'm sorry, but I will fix my mistakes. Real quick, boys and girls, before we continue on with today's video, I just want to I just want to talk a little bit about the website. Over at DakotaBlueExotics.com, you can find a host of amazing things. That includes everything you'll need for a bioactive vivarium, including your dirt, your balls, because you need balls down there, your dirt's gonna get too soggy, cleanup crews, springtails and isopods, plants, we got air plants, bromeliads, tropical plants, ferns, for a limited time probably, a host of different amazing products. If you guys want to check it out, DakotaBlueExotics.com, I'll have a link right down there in the description. Thank you guys so much. All the money goes to me because it's my business and I very much appreciate that. Let's get back into the video. A good reason of being overweight. Your gecko can find solace on having a little leverage on your belly bump. Well, at least that's good. I'm glad I can provide a safe haven for you with my gut. Moving on, let's get into the next one. Now, this one isn't necessarily specific to Urodactylodes. I just think it's absolutely hilarious that they do it like most other geckos, and that's going to be number 4. They're actually vocal. If you guys didn't know, geckos are vocal, not just the tokay geckos that go tokay, tokay. The Urodactylodes isn't gonna go Yuri, Yuri, although that would be absolutely hilarious. Just like most of your geckos, leopards, cresteds, gargoyles, all of that, they are able to produce some sort of vocal noise. This can be usually found in barks, chirps, or clicks, everything like that. Something I found absolutely hilarious is definitely during breeding season, the female seems to be a lot more defensive in her cage. I have this hilarious video, I hope I can pull it up and it'll show you on the next slide, but I have it of her like chirping at me, doing that like false biting where she kind of just headbutts you and chirps and yips. It's hilarious. Something I definitely didn't expect, how feisty, almost the chihuahuas of the gecko world, because they're so small and tiny like this, but they'll put up a fight when they're guarding their eggs, I guess. Another really cool thing about this gecko, it has some personality to it. Now, once again, this isn't going to be specifically for the Urodactylodes, right? This isn't just only Uris make this noise. A lot of geckos make this noise. It's just one that I didn't expect from this gecko. The last thing I want to talk about today is something that I just think is a cool little fun fact. I don't know if it's going to impress anyone, but that's going to be number 4? I mean, whatever the last number is of today, these guys actually have different subspecies. When you think of things of like the crested gecko, well, the crested gecko is a crested gecko. There are different morphs going on, the geckos look different, however, the gecko is the crested gecko. Whereas in fact, the chameleon gecko, the Urodactylodes, actually has 4 distinct subspecies so far, which I think is just super cool. The one I'm holding right now is, I'm gonna absolutely butcher this, Occidentalis, Occidentals. Probably. Seems to be the most common one. There's 3 other ones. I'm not gonna, here's the list of all 3 of them, or the 3 others. I'm not gonna attempt to butcher them. I've already made enough of an ass of myself with that phrasing. My understanding, it seems the best way to understand the different subspecies is going to be the size, the color, and then the heads, is going to be the head scaling on the head of the animal. I just think it's really cool, you know, not only do you get this really awesome small little dude, but there's actually different subspecies of love this gecko. As the years go on and we get better with the Urodactyl breeding, hopefully we get some good clutches, some babies thriving and going, I think we will branch out to some of those other subspecies. This is a gecko I truly think is really extremely underrated. You have a calm, small gecko that really absolutely anyone can own because they have very mild, easy to handle husbandry, very easy, small size enclosure that most everyone can put inside their room, their house, their apartment, whatever, and you get a calm personal gecko like this one right here. Wouldn't you love about this? Are you gonna jump? Nah. You thought about it. Not quick enough. There you got it, boys and girls. What you need to know about the chameleon gecko. What do you guys think? Have you heard about this gecko before? Do you absolutely love them as much as I do now? Or are you like, Dakota, small's bad, bring back the lychees? Maybe next time. If you guys want to check out some more videos that we have done, here's a playlist right here and a video right here. Since I don't do too many videos about these guys, I'm not sure what I'm gonna put, but I'm sure they're great. As always, thank you so much for taking the time in your day to follow us over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. I will see you guys next time, but until then, goodbye.